Yes, I was jealous of Erin before I met her. But then when I first met her and she was so wonderful and lovely, I was like, that's just like, that's how women should be.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. Can we just say, as we welcome everyone into the pregame and I look crazy, I cannot wait until Kurt, the mug, Angel.
Up my Calm Down mug, one of our wonderful producers, Kurt, that gave us these mugs for Christmas, and it says our name on the bottom, and he's so cute,
so
and I can't even handle it.
I can't calm down that I'm not drinking out of it now. Two things. I cannot wait for my face to go back to looking pre-football as we're getting ready to have our last week of football with the NFC Championship. I'm waiting for the clear sign at TSA or the clear machine to say, cannot recognize. I don't recognize myself. Second of all, on a brighter note, the tunes, the jams at Levi Stadium, bumping. I thought of you so many times. Clinton, my Fox security dream, he gets down to some jams. And we looked over at each other so many times in the pouring rain. It was like,
let's go.
It was so good. They have great tunes there.
Erin and I always talk about the different stadiums that have great tunes. I need to auto-tune my voice for the different singing engagements that I've taken part in. But I had that happen with my phone the other day, that my face couldn't be recognized. And I was like, oh shit, was it because I dyed my hair blonde? No, it's just because the bag's under your eyes. They couldn't recognize you, kid. And I don't have an excuse. My season's over. Okay, you know what's not over? The pregame.
Woo,
Here we go.
Started.
Questions, comments, and concerns. You guys submit them. We love you for it.
Cute.
Fabulous. Okay, first up, Thomas Quinn Instagram. Oh God, Thomas. We should do an episode just on us trying to read names. Thomas Quinn Instagram.
Sure.
Is it mandatory for your spouse or significant other to turn their location on? Okay, I've got a lot of thoughts on this.
Ooh, this may have to carry over.
Oh yeah, Carrie Underwood. This is not something that I ever want to have to ask my significant other to do. I don't want to have to do it. I think it's an invasion of, that means you don't trust your significant other. The only thing I think it's good for is if you're going to like a remote location or something like that, and you're like, I don't know, worried about like the safety.
Yes.
But on the regular, why do I need to know where Steve is all the time? Because if I want to know where he is, I should just ask him and he should tell me, and I should trust that he's there. If I have to ask him to turn his location on, that means he is Shady McShaderson and I don't trust him, and I shouldn't be in the relationship.
Okay. My thoughts on this are we both are following each other, and I've actually found.
You do? Your location's on?
Yeah, because of this. And here's my thing. We're on so many different coasts at so many different times. Jarrett, in terms of traveling to go see prospects and stuff, he's in Canada, he's here. Also, too, like, not to bring the baby shit up, but we have a baby. Like, no, I find that I am less paranoid now, not about what he's up to. It's just my whole thing is, he takes a lot of long drives from like little small rinks in Canada back to a hotel in the middle of the night. I don't want to stay awake. And when I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, shit, did you get in? And I text him and I'm not getting something back, I've convinced myself he's dead on the side of the road. I can look at the location. He's at the crappy hotel at the airport. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I've become less of an annoying spouse or significant other now that I know where he is. Safety, I don't care now. I just look. I'm like, I'm good. You're safe.
That falls into the safety category. And yes, I agree that and by the way, it's not just baby shit. Like that actually is. If you're not there and your child is with your husband, like, yes, that's nice to know where he is. But I just think if it pertains to like anything other than safety, no, I don't need you to like have your location on. Okay, next up, girl.
I'm just watching the Ravens coach dance, get down in the locker room. It's hilarious. Margin called 80. How do you approach a halftime interview with a furious coach who is losing badly?
Good. That's a great question.
Yeah, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Those are the hardest interviews, I think, or a losing Super Bowl interview or a losing NFC Championship interview is really, really hard. Listen, I feel like I am at this point where I'm grateful for a lot of these. I'm grateful for all the coaches and their trust in us and everything like that. I just really try to handle it, get out of their way, ask the question quick. Also, like, this past week going into the locker room, we all know San Francisco's offense not performing like they wanted to. Defense is slipping around. Just get to it. Hey, with the weather, with the way Green Bay's defense is playing you, what do you need to adjust or what are you looking for your offense to just get to it quick? Also, like, be a human. You don't have to be like, third down, what happened? Also, I think this too, and I've learned this from my producer and I've learned this from Greg and Kevin and other people. Don't try to act like you know more than the coach. Because by the way, you don't. That's why a lot of times I don't question a call with them. I just say, what was the thought with that? Like, who am I? You know?
It's been a long time since I've been a sideline reporter, but the what I would say is on going back to that, I hated having to do the interview on camera. You guys don't do that anymore. I remember they used to be on camera going into the locker room and coming out.
Yeah, I did that for college.
I know that some networks still have the coaches' interviews on camera, which, by the way, I think is so freaking awesome of coaches to agree to do that. Same. Because the last thing they want to be doing, with all due respect to your job, like, is the game has started. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? Like, to focus on their thing. So I love any coach that like agrees to do that.
Yeah.
But for those kinds of questions, and again, it's been a million years since I've done it, but I just was always like being realistic, like, obviously this isn't the way you wanted to start, but like, how do you turn it around? Whatever. Exactly. To your point about being a human, like, let's not get crazy here. And also, enough with the 30-second preamble. Like, to your point about interviews, who, what, where, when, why. Yeah. Let's get going.
The last thing, and I am so grateful for those coaches, but the last thing they want to be doing is talking to us. They have only such a small amount of time. Look at the score sheet. Is Debo coming back? You know, how do we adjust this, game without him? You know, what's going on with our defense's cleats? Like, they don't have a lot of time for us. So anytime they make, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
This one's an easy one for us coming up.
Oh, yes. Madison E. Golden, favorite rom-com character. In fact, I told her, because I saw her, this is not a name drop, she is just so freaking adorable. I saw her over the weekend, Kate Hudson. Aww. Kate Hudson. And I was telling her husband a story about how much I love Kate Hudson because she was so kind to me in that interview that I had with her in a junket. And I just found out my boyfriend had cheated on me, and I was like in a funky mood and I didn't know her at all. And she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, I just found out my boyfriend cheated on me. She was like, "What?" She grabbed my phone, put her number in my phone, and she was like, "You call me anytime you want to get a drink and do anything." And ever since that, which by the way, I never did, because why would I? That's so weird.
Hey, but Kate, it's me, Charissa.
Exactly. Remember the girl from the Four Seasons junket? Loser. She was adorable. So I was just telling her husband how wonderful she was. But my favorite character will always be her in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Andy. And I love that her name was Andy Anderson, and that yellow dress that she wore. I even tried to buy that dress one time just so I could like recreate the character. Yeah. It looked terrible on me because no one can get away with that silk unless you're 1 pound. But yeah, Andy Anderson from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I love, and we told her this when we had her on as a guest on the Calm Down podcast, Cameron Diaz. And also, I know Julia wasn't always a rom-com, but there were some rom-coms, obviously, that she did. But Cameron Diaz in Sweetest Things, The Holiday, name it. I will say The Holiday, she's never looked better. The hair, the outfits. I know that wasn't her house, but I feel like that's what her house in real life looks like. It's just all of it. I love her so much. Her little jammies when she's throwing the stuff off the thing and
yeah, and her little stocking hat when she's like in the bed and like being cozy. Yeah. She's adorable.
Adorable.
Yep. Into it.
Odded 82. Who would be the best queen in a European country of the two of you?
Whoa. Oh, what a great question. Okay, who would be the best queen?
Princess. You be the prince and I'll be the
I'll be the princess. It's a love story. It always has to come back to her.
Always.
I don't know.
I want to be a princess and get down.
Okay, I'm going to go on a little rant here. I sent you the DM of what's her name, the actress, and now it's escaping me because, what's her?
Was she an actress or she was a real?
Anne Hathaway.
No, I don't think that was her. I think that was the real queen or princess.
No, it wasn't. It was her acting like a queen.
It was?
Anne Hathaway.
Are you sure?
In a clip.
I'm looking this up.
Look right now. Anne Hathaway was in a clip or whatever. Somebody not caught her on camera, but like she was saying like, I can't take a picture with all of you, so I'm just going to stand here and wave.
I'm looking
and
this
you can take a picture of me. And I'm sorry, Anne Hathaway, love your work. You're an incredible actress. The Devil Wears Prada.
Great.
You're fabulous. But I'm sorry. You're going to just stand there and we should also be so lucky to take a picture of you while you wave. I think it's so bizarre. So people were saying, like, who does she think she is? Like the queen of whatever town. That's my rant about Anne Hathaway. She will not be a guest on the Calm Down podcast ever again because I said that.
Oh my God, it was her. I thought that was really a queen.
No, she was acting like a queen. So back to the question about this of who would be a better queen. I don't know. I mean, that's like, I feel like, what are the parameters? Like, who would be better at waving? You would be much better at waving.
You'd be much better at the parties.
I would be really great at the parties. And I feel like I'd be a queen of the people. Like, here would be my problem. Like, when you go out and like greet people, like I would just stay out there for hours. And they're like, come on, Your Majesty, you have to come back into the castle. And I'm like, no, I belong with my civilians. Like, that's like, I belong with the people. You know what?
Girl.
I'd be Princess Diana. I'm the people's queen. Okay. Like, I want to be in the streets with my Harvard sweatshirt on and my little spandex and be adorable.
And high Reebok sneaks.
God, she was great.
She was beautiful.
I cried when she died. Oh my God.
I was at a frat party. I'll never forget it.
Whoa.
Where were you?
I was at a cabin. It was Labor Day weekend. I was at a cabin. We always did this thing. It was like a party that my parents had. And I just remember sitting on the couch and bawling. And my mom's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, Princess Diana died. I'm not okay. She goes, I didn't know you were such a fan. Get it together, Kathy. Everyone is. Okay, last but not least, actually, I don't even think it's last. Yes, it is. Kim Popowich. I kind of like that. Being in the same biz where E and C frenemies before becoming friends. No, I was very jealous of Erin, though. I think we've talked about this before. That
so much to be jealous of. Look at this girl.
I was very jealous of you sitting at the Big Ten tournament and she had somebody come and help her, like, take her luggage. Look at, she's rolling her eyes. She had someone help roll her luggage out. Not that because she asked them to, but because she was working for the Four Letters and had a lot of resources. And I remember just thinking, God, I hope I get to work at ESPN one day.
I'm not saying that because of ESPN. I'm just saying about where I was in my life.
Erin was always, and then of course, like, working the biggest games. And yes, I was jealous of Erin before I met her. But then when I first met her and she was so wonderful and lovely, I was like, that's just like, that's how women should be. And here we are. Mm-hmm. Yep. And guess what? We have got a full, Big show. Got a full big show. Erin worked a great playoff game. The Packers-Niners. We'll recap that. Also, it's got the big NFC Championship game coming up. The Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers. We'll talk a little football. We'll talk a little life. And stay tuned.
Talk about how to get my face back.
Love you all. Bye.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.